Alright guys, we're back with more Scarlet Nexus. It is already a little past noon, but I have nothing else going on today. Well, I have nothing else going on, well, either way, for a few hours. So we're going to continue on. I think we finished standby phase, right? So we're going to continue on. So we got 3 phases left.
Everyone, Major General Fubuki is up.
Seems like he's all fine.
And again, we're only going to get through the Yuito playthrough, I think I've decided. We are going to move on after that, just because there's other shit I need to play.
I see. I get the basic idea. The expansion of the Kunad Gate and Togetsu's schemes. You did a good job gathering all this information.
What we need to focus on now is stopping Togetsu's plans.
If we let them be, they'll just send someone else after us. And then civilians could end up getting hurt.
Do you have any idea how to stop them?
Well, I do have one idea. What if we were to shut down Babe, Togetsu's control computer? The Red Strings research, execution of the plan, that's all Babe.
So you're saying if we can shut Babe down, that will stop Togetsu's plans?
All right. You're the ones best suited to make a decision with the information we have, so I'll follow your lead. I'll leave Togetsu to you, but if there's anything I can do, let me know.
Could you act as a go-between for the new Himuka government and the Seiran provisional government for us? The new Himuka government is in a state of confusion. Resolving that could restrict Togetsu's movements.
So you want me to get the governments to agree to a ceasefire?
If you can fan the underlying insecurity and suspicions the politicians have for Togetsu well enough, they'll definitely say yes.
Right, I'll give it a shot. I'm not a politician though, so I don't know if they'll listen to me. I'll use my influence as a regiment commander the best I can. I'll get ready for negotiations right away.
Fubuki, don't get yourself into trouble.
You too, sis. Take care of them.
I think we're safe leaving Suo and Seiran to Major General Fubuki.
So, we're infiltrating Togetsu. What's our battle plan?
Kagero and Kyoka have useful information on the area. We should use it to make a plan.
Oh, sorry. Do you mind if I leave that to you, Major? Yuito, I want to talk to you before you go to Togetsu.
Okay. What is it?
You don't know? Hey, how about we go somewhere else? Let's see. I'll wait for you in Kikuchiba. Come when you have the time.
Kagero?
Sorry, I'll be right back. I'll leave the strategizing to you.
Hey, Yuito!
Hanabi, wait. Sugumi, everyone, there's something I have to tell you.
You too, Kasane?
This is about Kagero, right? We should listen.
Kagero wants to talk. I bet it's about... No. I think it's best to wait until I hear him out first.
Okay.
Where's Kagero? I guess I'll check up top.
Wait, if we can run past these, we're going to. Oh wait. Yeah, okay. Okay. So, I think I'm gonna listen to a podcast.
Or so.
Well,
no one is found. Do they arrive at this, let's get out Andy on their own?
Mark seemed to, is the first thing. Like, when people are all going for Sandra because she's a big returning play a threat in different ways, similar to kind of the issues that Andy had, she has people to vouch for her, and she's a bigger threat. And she's got Ben being like, no, and she's got someone who can tell her so she can do something about it. Like, I think for Andy, like, it's not just that Nina went for him and did it so well, which she did, but it's also just that, like, everyone else on the tribe, other than, like, seemingly Josh, who was Alex's friend who voted for Alex, and Alex, who seemingly wasn't even part of his own plan to save himself, everyone was okay with Andy going. And so that to me is like a communal issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a tough one. It was hard. And especially seeing Kate go later in the week and knowing that a lot of the reason to come back
What did you want to tell me?
It's about your father, Chairman Joe Sumeragi. You
His
know
name was
that
Joe?
Kasane didn't kill him. I was the one who killed the chairman.
It was you?
That's right. I killed him. I'm sorry I didn't tell you until now.
Why? Why would you do that? How could you kill my father? Answer me!
I had no hatred for the chairman. It was for myself. I guess self-defense is a better word for it. I mean, my power is perfect for assassination. I'm sort of in charge of that kind of work.
Stop it! Tell me everything.
What do you think I'm doing? I'm telling you because I feel bad. I know you can't forgive me, of course. So, what do you want me to do? If you tell me to leave, I'll go.
So that's how you want to do this?
Yes, it is. That's the kind of guy I am, after all.
Fine. You have your ways of doing things, and I have mine.
Oh, so that's how it is. You don't really want to do this now, do you, kid? You really want to fight?
Fight me, Kagero! Don't think I'm playing around!
Okay.
Giving her that chance, and then, like, for it to go poorly for both of them, and they both love the show, like, I think that was just, like, a bit of a painful arc of the first week.
Yeah. But blood versus water. It's brutal.
Yeah. And, like, Andy, like, he knew his faults. He came into the preseason stuff kind of knowing things he wanted to change, and I was excited for that evolution, and I think we saw parts of it. Like, he was doing this all in good faith. That's what makes it hard. Like, he was trying to keep the tribe strong. He was just trying to be the team player in a way more than everyone else was, who then took that, like, strategic manipulative tactic to take out the big threat rather than the injured person. So I think that there was so much awareness there, but it didn't translate, I guess, to be, like, on the so-called beach and then reading the room about the fact that people just really, really didn't want Alex to go. Like, credit to Alex that he just must be, like, crazy likable. Yeah.
Well, was this the right move for Mark? Because I feel like that Mark, I feel like wants to play, like, a more passive game, and he wants, like, even though, like, I think people, like, look to him to be, like, in a leadership role, like, I feel like that he tries as hard as he can not to do it. I think he's lucky that he has King Khan around to now inherit that like the initial, like, leadership role that I think he was hoping that Andy would fill. And he's lucky in that there's Khan to sort of, like, now push that onto.
Yeah, I mean, Andy would have been a shield for Mark. That's something to consider. But I think the fact that he and a primary ally, Nina, can come to that conclusion on their own kind of speaks to just, like, how intuitive that move was, and it just...
Damn it. You won't get away that easily.
How are you stronger?
You'll pay for what you did.
You've got to be kidding me. I can't go out like this. Time out, Yuito, okay? I know you want to kill me, but wait a sec. If I die now, the 2,000 years of things I did for her will all be for nothing.
About time you told me the truth, Kagero.
What? You knew?
I knew you wouldn't tell me the truth if I didn't do this. And I did actually want to beat you up.
You serious? Boy, do I look dumb right now.
You'll tell me the truth now, won't you?
Yeah.
Yuito, Kagero! Did we interrupt you?
Kagero, let me see your wounds. I'll try to fix you up.
Thanks, Tsugumi.
Did everyone hear that? About my father?
Yeah, Kasane told us. Are you alright?
I guess so. For now. Please, tell me what happened to him.
Right. Where to begin?
Kagero, this is just a conjecture on my part. But wasn't it orders from Togetsu?
It was indeed. I'm an assassin sent on a mission from Togetsu to infiltrate Suo.
I see. So you weren't hired by the Seiran government.
It seems Chairman Sumeragi was more distrustful of Togetsu than the former chairman. They considered him a threat.
So you assassinated him for Togetsu?
If I wanted to crush Togetsu's plans, Babe's plans, I couldn't be seen as a troublemaker. So it was self-defense. Had I done a little better, though, I could have fooled them and gotten by not having to assassinate anyone. Look, I'm really sorry about Chairman Sumeragi. If you tell me to face the consequences, I will. But first, I want to finish dealing with Togetsu. I know that's asking a lot, but please.
Who is the she you mentioned? Is she the reason?
I suppose I have to tell you. I have a family I left on the moon. A wife and a daughter. I first met my wife when we were getting ready to emigrate to Earth and had our daughter. If emigration no longer happens, my daughter no longer exists. I won't let that happen. That's why I have to do everything I can to stop them from using the red strings.
It was all to protect your daughter.
This was 2,000 years ago. She's been dead a long time, so I'm sure you think it all sounds silly. But I don't want my family, my daughter's existence, to be erased.
If your family is so important to you, why did you leave them on the moon? You could have just brought them to Earth with you.
I could have if I was a normal colonist, but that wasn't the case. I was an agent placed among the colonists. My job was to make the redevelopment of Earth fail.
Why? The moon spent 1,000 years fixing the Earth's environment, to sabotage it when it was almost finished.
Did things change on the moon? If my memory serves me correctly, I heard that something flew in from outer space.
You don't know? It's kind of a long story, but I'll tell you what happened 2,000 years ago. It was when Yakumo Sumeragi and the colonists immigrated to Earth. A comet passed close by the moon. The comet left behind the unknown substance called other particles in space. Gravity then began pulling those particles down to Earth and the moon. Earth was still mostly unpopulated, so the effects were unknown, but the moon began to have cases of people turning into monsters.
Monsters? Do you mean...
Yes. Metamorphosis. If a living creature comes into contact with the other particles, they change into aberrations. Into others. At the time, the redevelopment of Earth had moved to the final step of gravity control. If that were sabotaged, we could stop the other particles falling to the moon. Basically, that was the Moon Faction's plan, and I was an agent who had been given secret orders to carry it out.
Yakumo Sumeragi and the rest of the colonists were already on Earth. You were just gonna leave them to die?
It's terrible, I know. But people like Yakumo resisted the moon's wishes, and the plan ended in failure. So the moon put Plan B into action. They pushed the other particles toward Earth, surrounding it, and making it so we couldn't return home.
Other particles surrounding Earth. The extinction belt. I think it's safe to say that the moon's space technology is far ahead of ours.
The moon was overpopulated at the time, and I heard most of the people went to Earth. It was probably a plan to reduce the population.
I was cut off from the moon, so staying on Earth was the only option. I don't know what happened on the moon after that.
The metamorphosis might have spread. More people like my sister.
Even so, I believed that my family was safe, and joined Togetsu so I could return to the moon. I went in and out of cold sleep many times, trading off with comrades as we searched for a way to break through the extinction belt. But after several awakenings, I realized Togetsu had changed their plans. There was just no way I could allow them to reset history. That's why becoming a traitor was the path I chose.
I understand. My father wasn't perfect. He would often make mistakes, especially when it came to how he led the government. But he was family, the only father I had. I just can't forgive you for killing him. But it's because of that. I understand your desire to protect your family. So let's stop Togetsu together. I will always resent you. But I think I can stand up to them with you.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I might have done something distasteful to further my goal, if I had taken a wrong turn somewhere as well. So, I think I understand a little bit of your actions.
You know, you're much more mature than I am. Or maybe I'm just too immature. I guess in the end, I made you decide after all. So lame. Let me help you stop Togetsu.
Are you finished?
Kasane, I caused you so much trouble. I'm sorry.
Stop acting so meek all of a sudden. It's weird.
Kasane, I thought you were the one who killed my father. I'm sorry I doubted you.
It's just as much my fault for not saying anything. When I wanted to kill you, I thought that having you hate me would keep me focused on the task.
I guess that makes sense.
So, you don't have to apologize.
Yeah, okay. That's enough talk for now then. I'm sure you all have your own questions. Even I don't understand what's going on. But we have to work together and focus on what needs to be done.
If that is your decision, I don't think we have anything else left to say.
All right. So our main mission is to go to Togetsu as soon as we can and stop Babe.
What do you think of using my power to make everyone invisible in order to infiltrate it?
We should probably assume that Kagero and I are both known traitors by now.
We don't have time to dwell on it. It's dangerous. But I believe Kagero's plan has potential.
Togetsu probably doesn't expect an attack from such a small force. Let's consider it a sneak attack.
Okay, let's do it. First, we'll climb Hino Mountain and get close to Togetsu.
That was not good on my nerves. Don't scare me like that.
I'm glad you're both okay.
Lots of...
Alright, I'm supposed to go. Oh, we're going back there. We're at 18 minutes. What? Oh, I pushed one. I'm a fucking idiot. I wasn't holding the controller properly.
Hyoka's duplication could be useful.
Okay. Alright, well, I guess I might as well
It's like,
watch this again.
must have been something that doesn't translate maybe as well on TV, and the fact that they just weren't vibing with him. And it really is so much about connections when you're staring down the barrel of like 47 days. It's just like, who do you work with and not? Although Andy seemed like keen to work with that group and was like talking to them about the plan and splitting the vote, so I guess they just on like on a personal level just like weren't vibing with him, and that's just the way that they went with it.
Mm.
Yeah, what did you think of Mark this week? Because I feel like he did really well.
I mean, I love Mark. I don't know if Mark is a great player. Like, I don't know. I don't know. And again, my knowledge from Australian Survivor 2017 is a little bit fuzzy. From what I recall, I feel like that some of the other guys were like running circles around him. But I think he's a very likable guy.
Like, in hindsight, it was Henry, and like, I mean, it was some big players. Like,
yeah. So I feel like that him and Sam need to team up. Like, I don't have a ton of faith in Mark solo.
Really, I feel like that's so unfair. Like, I didn't.
I love his jacket though. What a great jacket.
That's such damn good fame praise. I don't know about that guy, but man, what a jacket. Anyone can buy that jacket.
I think he's super likable. I just don't know necessarily like if he has like everything I'm looking for in a Survivor player.
I was so impressed with him this week. Like, surprisingly so. I didn't necessarily think that he would come out like that, but I mean, we kind of got the duality of him doing the opposite of Andy. Like, he could go in and be the leader. He does have the experience. But in the challenges, he's obviously essential. But then socially, he's hanging back. He says he wants to, like, connect with everyone individually. Like, he's not putting himself out in front. He's the one who kind of gives us the lay of the land of who everyone is. So he's, like, sizing people up. I thought it was great. His connection with Nina, which I think might have, like, a father-daughter kind of aspect, where he has a military background. Nina is a military child. Xander's husband is career military. So I really like that bond between them. I think that could be like a powerful duo. And then on the other side, Sam just voted for Sandra. So I think that there's maybe like a bit of an interesting duality happening between those pairs of the returnees left.
I just feel like that Mark is such a likable guy, but I think he's a little passive in terms of like how I want to see somebody playing the game. But I think that Sam makes up for that. So I love the tandem of them together.
Yeah.
And so like I love to see them link up because she's a little bit more of like the mastermind in terms of like that duo. And so it's like it would be very fun to see them be able to like make it to the merge together. So I mean, I think Mark is fine. I just don't think that he is like doing anything that I think is like exceptional.
I do agree. I believe in that relationship. Like, Mark may wear the jacket, but like Sam wears the pants in that relationship. Like, I can see her like kind of being like the alpha in that relationship. But I like that for Mark because Mark is such a big physical presence. He's always going to draw attention to himself. So to have that passive gameplay, and it's early. Australian Survivor, we're on what, day, I don't know, it feels like day 50.
6.
You've done 3 US seasons by now, but it's so early. You don't need to like really get yourself out in front. He's central socially. People like him. People want to work with him. And it is passive. Let it be passive when you're that physical a presence. I mean, you have to be able to ramp it up when you need it. But right now, not like sticking himself out more than he just kind of aesthetically is. I think that's really good.
He's doing well. He's doing well. He could pick up some chizzy points.
He's gonna. I'm not gonna. Yeah. So I thought that was really good from him. In terms of the rest of Water, never blew. Never. For the rest of Water, I feel like for both tribes, what we're getting week 1, and strategically for me, it's a little bit hard to kind of break it down as much because it's not factions for me. It's kind of these like big homogenous groups of these like central players, these like big players that are taking out like the problem people. I feel like we've kind of seen that on both sides. So I'm trying to kind of work out the factions, but it's a tricky one. I don't know that we've kind of seen like a real breakdown in that way, but I think names we kept hearing were definitely Mark. Geordie was a name we kept hearing. Khan was all up in things. Then there was like some tangential stuff with like KJ seemed around, Mel, who got no confessionals, seemed around. Obviously Nina's doing a lot. Josh kind of in there as well. So I think we can kind of see these clear outsiders, which we can talk about as well. Like Chrissy. Let's talk about Chrissy. Is Chrissy an outsider? That's like my biggest question of the week.
Boy, I mean, Chrissy looked like that she was in a bad spot going into like the first tribal council, but then all of a sudden, then she was like not in a bad spot by the second tribal council. I didn't really know exactly. Like, I felt like that the first episode painted it where Chrissy was in trouble. Shay and Brianna, I felt like were in the group. And then after the whole like Adam Klein idol situation.
How dare you, Palessa idol? Adam got it from Palessa. Adam's not taking the name, not from Palessa. Like the trajectory is Palessa got it on the podium. Adam thought he got it on the podium, and then they wrestled at the podium. It's the Palessa idol.
sure, the plus, but I do feel like that this here in this season, I think this is more. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that this is like we are going to like what I think that what they felt like what they would have loved to have had happen if this was real in the U.S. Survivor, to have somebody tackle another person on the way to the podium. I feel like that this creative was sort of based off of the idea of, could we get two survivors to wrestle at Tribal Council?
100%. Well, what you missed last season was...
We're almost to Togetsu.
JLP rifle...
Kagero, are you ready?
An earthquake.
It's shaking. It's similar to the big earthquake at Kunad Highway.
I think it's over.
Is everyone okay? The Kunad Gate just briefly put out some strange numbers.
An earthquake-type shaking was felt all across New Himuka. It wasn't too severe, so there shouldn't be too much damage.
We're fine here. There was no significant damage to Hino Mountain.
It must have been caused by the Kunad Gate.
Hey! Togetsu is doing all kinds of research on it too, right?
Yes. While we're stopping Babe, we should dig up as much useful information as we can.
Yuito, how's your head? Do you feel anything weird about your power? Any abnormalities?
Huh? No, not really. My head hasn't hurt at all since everyone gave me my memory back. Why?
That's good then. When we were fighting, I felt... How can I describe it? It was like your power was spilling over. You might have just been excited. Does that kind of thing happen to you?
It is true that powers are affected by emotions. However, if that was not the case...
There is a theory that it is a sign of decaying mental abilities. Apparently, when abilities are about to disappear, they become strangely more powerful.
So you're saying my powers are going to go away?
Apparently, it's been observed in rare cases along with the aging of the brain. It shouldn't be happening to you now.
Yes, that's true. However, his brain has suffered quite a bit of damage.
I also used to be a dud, so it might be different from a normal human brain, too.
What? You were a dud?
Oh, right. I didn't tell you guys yet.
You became a psionic from an experiment when you were a kid? I can't believe you were a dud.
Do you know how long my power will last? Will it disappear today or tomorrow?
It's not that sudden. But there haven't been many cases, so I can't say for sure.
We're not sure that's what it is anyway. This is all just an assumption.
I know that. If it's not going to be sudden, I won't think about it for now.
Sorry for adding to your worries. Don't get too caught up about it.
It's okay. I didn't realize it myself, so I'm glad you said something.
A mattress has to be either soft or firm.
Anyway, we should start watching our surroundings. We're near Togetsu.
Time to turn invisible. You ready?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll go right in.
Bows in a way that made players compete in a way we haven't really seen before.
Probably when she gets back to camp.
Yuito,
Yes.
I'm
It'll be
curious
interesting to
about
see
what
how that
Kagura
plays
said.
out. Obviously,
Are you
she's
really
played the
feeling
game.
alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. My power apparently won't go away too soon. So we just have to see what happens.
Okay.
Oh yeah, 10 minutes, 10
Just
minutes.
don't push yourself too hard.
Challenge is about to say go. He's like, oh, by the way, there's an idol over there. In the middle of, I think, an immunity challenge even. Go. And then George ran for it, a couple of people ran for it, I think Gerald ran for it, Haley ran for it, ended up getting it. So it was kind of fun to talk about it on Talking Tribal because they're like, idol wrestles. I'm like, well, these two people on my left were already wrestling with each other. I think they enjoyed that moment, that very...
There's not much security inside, just like we thought.
All right. We'll go straight to Babe.
Look out!
Damn.
Here they come. The Togetsu design children.
Looks like they were expecting us.
We have to break through.
How? We're surrounded.
Figure something out. If we run now, there will be even more security next time.
I'll use teleportation.
Not with this many people. We don't know the layout inside Babe.
I know the location, and we have to take our chances. Kasane is right. We may not have another opportunity. If we get close to Babe, they'll have to take precautions. So why don't we just take the risk?
I trust you.
Let's get this done.
Luca, do it!
Here we go.
This is the entrance to Babe.
Good. It worked.
Nice one, Luca. Maybe you should rest a little.
No, I appreciate the concern, but I don't think we have that kind of time.
Huh? Others. Why?
Hey, Haruka! Wataru! Damn, Signet has been cut off.
I don't know why there are others here, but we're better off than before.
Yeah, there's not too many. Let's take him out.
Okay. We're trying to get this back up.
Public, like, are you willing to put yourself out there and, like, literally fight for it? So I agree that all of this was around the wrestle. But, Rob, did you know something that they didn't tell us about this idol? And I really want to talk about this because it's been a huge talking point online. Was that this idol did not... This idol expired at the first Tribal Council.
Oh.
Yeah. And you wouldn't know that because you're watching it in your own time, and it was not transparent, I think actively so. It came out on their Instagram page, and I really, really don't like that that wasn't told to us because I feel lied to as a viewer because it changes all the dynamics of everything everyone did because this expired that night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so some things that are different when that is the case. Brianna, is she cleverly flushing the idol by throwing out Chrissy? No, Chrissy has to play the idol. She's just like bafflingly calling out Chrissy, who is autoimmune tonight. Terrible move. Like, is Chrissy like good?
Do we want to go with autoimmune?
This is bad. I never thought they'd toss a bunch of others around inside the Babe building.
You didn't know? Wait, what do you mean toss? Do you mean they caught others and brought them here? Or maybe they know how to metamorphose, like Suo?
Togetsu possesses the other particles. They used them to make others. This is the first time I've seen them used like this, though.
The others were born here by placing live creatures in contact with the other particles.
Should we keep going this way if we want to shut down Babe?
I don't have the blueprints to the building, though it looks like the command center is as far inside as you can go.
The terminal that tried to take control of Yuito only connects to the superficial information on Babe.
All right, let's just keep going.
So yeah, we're gonna continue until we get to.
What do I have in my notes? Autosave. There you go.
Autosave. Yeah. I feel like we're getting a little like COVID adjacent. We're talking about autoimmune. Yeah.
I mean, this move from Brianna, I think that gets just like very, very questionable when people I think were trying to give us some credit for flushing. In fact, the edit then previously on, Brianna flushed the idol. Like what? No one flushed anything. Like it expired tonight. I really don't like being lied to by the show. Is Chrissy burning a public idol like to be safe, which would be kind of smart, or is she too paranoid, playing an idol when she's in on